Hello everyone, my name is Jolly Green and welcome to episode 13 of Minecraft Through the Ages. Last episode we made this pretty awesome roller coaster. Turned out pretty much exactly how I envisioned it, so I'm pretty proud of this. But in today's episode, since it's episode 13, oh no, we didn't make it. That stupid cow caught us up. So in this episode where it is episode 13, I figured we could get a little spooky, because today we're going to cover
the Halloween update.
So today we're actually going to be covering two major updates. We have Alpha 1.1 as well as Alpha 1.2. As you can see up in the top left-hand corner right now, we are in version 1.1.2_01. So this is the last of the updates for the Alpha 1.1 session of updates. And the reason that we're covering both this as well as the next one, Alpha 1.2, is because Alpha 1.1 wasn't really a major update as far as updates go. And I figured with this being episode 13, it's only appropriate to cover the Halloween update as well. But first, let's start with 1.1. So the Alpha 1.1 series of updates covers 4 versions released between September 10th, 2010 and September 23rd, 2010. Now, the biggest changes in this series of updates come to multiplayer, with the ability of hostile mobs to be able to spawn on a multiplayer world. On top of that, but you would now be able to access your inventory if you were playing on multiplayer. Before, you could not. It wasn't just multiplayer that was changed, though. Universally, we also see a change that allows us to use a bucket of lava as fuel in a furnace to smelt up to 100 items, which we don't have a hopper or anything yet, so that involves putting in the rest of your stack of 100 in by hand manually. But I mean, it works. It's better than the 8 that you get from one piece of coal. Now that we've covered the changes from last version to this, let's cover some of the new stuff. The 1.1 updates don't add much, but they do add one of my favorite additions thus far, and that's the ability to sneak. If we press shift, we can come right to the edge of this block and try to walk off all we want, but we're not gonna. Another handy feature they added was the debug screen. You have to press and hold F3 to show it. This is another thing that is super handy, just a subtle change. It makes all the difference. You don't realize how much you use these two features until you can't use them at all anymore. Now, those features are nice, but what about content? What do we get new there? Well, I've got news for you. We've got new paintings. The wiki says that there should be 5, but I could only find these 2. I cycled through them for a good couple minutes and couldn't get the other 3 to show up. They're supposed to be the big paintings too. But not only that, but we do have 2 new items added that we should be able to craft relatively easily now. First, we have the compass and the fishing rod. Now, as you can see, the compass, the needle always points to the spawn point. So thankfully for us, we built right next to the spawn, so it's actually relatively handy. It'll get us pretty much right back to our house. Yeah, I can see how if you built a ways away from spawn, they're pretty useless. But we also have the fishing rod, which, as of right now, doesn't do anything. But we'll actually get back to that in just a minute. But that actually leads us nicely into the next update. So let's switch over to 1.2 and we'll check things out there. Oh, and one last thing about the fishing rod. In this version, they can stack. Alpha 1.2, or the Halloween update, covers 14 releases that take place between October 30th and December 3rd, 2010. And boy, is this a big one. First, let's talk about the changes from last version to this one. Starting with the fishing rod. Now, the ability to stack the fishing rod, unfortunately, didn't last long. We can now no longer stack them. However, we now have some functionality to it. If we right-click the fishing rod, with the fishing rod in hand, it throws out a line. And as you can see, we can hook mobs with that. And if we right-click again, it kind of gives them a little yoink towards us. Not a big yoink, just a little one. And this has all sorts of applications. And as I'm sure you could probably guess, you can also use the fishing rod to fish. Fish what, you may ask? Well, let's check it out. So if we right-click our rod over by the water, the bobber is going to sit out there for a few seconds. This is a lot longer than a few seconds. Ah, there it is. Perfect. The bobber sinks down, we right-click again, and we've caught a fish. Now these fish... Oh, we can just eat them raw. That's interesting. I wasn't sure if we could or not. But we can also cook the fish in a furnace, and then that will restore 5 HP of health when you eat it. So I think I'm actually going to catch up a good supply of fish. Then I think we're going to grab our compass we made earlier in the episode, because we have some exploring to do today. All right, so here's an update already. I've caught one fish. The ADHD in me is not going to allow me to sit here and catch up more than that as slow as this is going. And it seems that they don't stack anyway. So we're probably just going to use the pig that we got from our pig farm a few episodes back. I'll put the link in the corner there so you can check it out if you haven't already. But we're just going to grab some pork from that. And we'll cook that up to go on our adventure. Or else this episode's going to take all day at the rate that the fish are biting. So with the sun coming up past our roller coaster over there, that's actually another thing that has changed recently. They added the additional colors, like the pinky orangish color around the sunrise and sunset. That's a nice little touch, if you ask me. Makes it feel much more immersive. But now that we've got some food cooked up and our compass in hand, we are going to start our journey. I don't really know what direction we're going to go in. I think we're going to cross this ocean here and see about exploring this way. But we're on the look for biomes today. So in one of the previous episodes, we discussed how there are really no biomes. Like there's sand by the ocean and then grass inland. And that's essentially it. Well, in this update, they changed that. And I would like to find all of these biomes. So this update sees 10 new overworld biomes added, and that is a chunk error. That's unfortunate. I was hoping to avoid that when refreshing the chunks, but clearly we did not. That's alright, it'll give us something to fix later. But as I say, there are 10 overworld biomes that were added. This first one here, I believe, would be forest. As you can see by the grass and the trees, it's a forest. Makes sense. Now over here, it looks like we're coming into a savanna. And the reason that you can tell, it's pretty similar to the plains biome where we made home, or even the shrubland, which is, again, super similar to the plains. But the big difference here is the grass color. You can see it's not quite as bright and lively as the grass that was over there. So that's how you know that you're in a savanna. For now, anyways. There'll be more changes to these biomes later on. But for now, we just have these very simple and subtle differences between the two biomes. Or between the many biomes. Good news, everyone. Still haven't found that biome yet, so that's not the good news. But up on that hill, I found something else new. So here we have the pumpkin. They spawn in the world in patches like this, already carved. You can pick them up without the need of silk touch or anything, because we don't have silk touch. Just gonna grab a small bundle of these, and then we can make one into a jack-o'-lantern, and then we can make one into a hat. Which isn't ideal because of the overlay, but it's pretty minor. We'll just take our hat off for now. Gotta have our wits about us to be able to find this last biome here. But it's very good that we found pumpkins, because now we don't have to go searching for them later. And once we can actually make pumpkin seeds, not in this version, but imagine coming up shortly, we'll be able to start a little pumpkin patch. So just as I increase my render distance to help me possibly find this last biome, it looks like it's coming into view up here. Yeah, I see cacti, and that can only mean one thing now. In previous episodes, we were able to find the cacti just out in the wild, not in any particular biome. Well, that has changed. Welcome to the desert. Bum, 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 bum. So anyways, this mass expanse of sand, or in this case, not really massive, it's actually a pretty tiny desert. This is the only place that you can get cacti now, and it's a great place to get sand. It's just here in boatloads. So what I'm actually going to do is hit the F3 button to pull up that screen that we had before and see if we can view our coordinates, which I don't. That's kind of unfortunate. I don't see the coordinates listed there at all, which is a shame. Oh, no, what am I talking about? Right there in the middle. X, Y, Z. That's got to be the coordinates, right? It's absolutely the coordinates. So I'm going to take these numbers down here, so that way we can come back in the future. And I actually think I have a pretty good way that we're going to be able to do that. Now, some of you may be thinking, I see. It's the Halloween update because they added pumpkins. Well, if you thought that, you're wrong. Or at least not entirely right. And I'll show you why. Pumpkins may be a part of the reason why they called it the Halloween update. But there is something else that they added that is a little more spookier than pumpkins. In order to check that out, though, we are going to need to go down to the mines for a minute. First, let's make sure we got some water. So down in the mine, we're going to take half of our diamonds, more than half, which is a little sad. I got to go mining for more, but honestly, I think diamonds are more rare in these early versions than they end up being later on. So I'm kind of hoping that I can hold off on diamond mining, at the very least until I have some enchantments to put on my gear. But if we come down here, I should have made a mine cart, because we would have been down here already. But I know down at the bottom of this mine shaft here, there it is, that's what we're looking for. Lava! This isn't anything too exciting yet. However, it can be. We're going to dump our water on this and make some obsidian. Now, if you've been watching my series long enough, you know obsidian's been in the game for a hot minute now. Pun intended. However, you may not have known its use. That's because up until this point, it didn't have one. So I'm going to gather up a bunch of obsidian, and then we're going to put it to good use. So we've got a fair amount of obsidian gathered up. So now, as I'm sure anybody who's seen any Minecraft content for any length of time will probably have guessed by now, we are going to make a nice square out of this. I suppose we'll fill in the corners that you can see anyways. We're not going to do that one because you can't see it. But then we light it with our flint and steel. And beautiful. We have a portal. Ooh. Let's go through. Alright, so the first look at the nether on this world. And man, I'm actually thankful that we're in a cave. Because this means that there are less hostile creatures that can possibly attack us and destroy our portal right off the bat. Of course, this also means that we could likely get lost. But as you can see, we have this netherrack surrounding us. And that is basically all the nether consists of at the moment. There aren't biomes. It's just netherrack and lava. But we should have some baddies around here that we can look for and check out. I am going to die. I can see that this is not going to end well. Why did I bring all my stuff? Okay, it's all right. So one thing about the netherrack, as you may know, and may have noticed, when you light it on fire, this stuff just burns forever. Never goes out, never goes away. Just be sitting there, inevitably burning. It's good for things like making a campfire in your house, or not like a campfire, but like a fireplace, or, you know, decoration. You want to have something that you can set on fire and just have it stay there? Netherrack's your stuff. What's crazy is that right now I have not enough diamonds at home to replace this diamond pick if we lose it in lava. So that's exciting. This is reminiscent. When I first started playing Minecraft, this is what the nether was. Just zombie pigmen and gas. And man, was it always terrifying. I hated coming to the nether. And right now, I don't have a good weapon. Oh, I forgot you don't have to draw your bow. That's interesting. Oh, well. Oh, no. Return to sender? Right. I wonder. Can we... Oh, yeah, we can. Let's go. Yeah? Oh, come on, you son of a gun. I just want to return to the sender. Yes? No. I'm gonna run out of arrows. I got one left. I hit it. This is gonna be the death of us. How did I not get it that time? Do I need a sword? I can't hit these fireballs with the sword at all. I think it's only the arrows, it seems. Ah! Put that one to the face. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here before we die. Now, before we actually leave the nether, though, there is one thing that I wanted to do. Those coordinates that I took earlier from the desert, well, those are gonna come in handy. Because the main use for this nether dimension right now is a way of transporting vast distances. So if we take those coordinates that we got, and then divide them by 8, that's gonna tell us exactly where we need to go in the nether to build our receiving portal. And once we have that built, then we can get to and from that desert that we went to earlier very quick and easy, especially where we're already in the roof. It's just going to be a matter of basically digging straight to that portal. So I think I'm going to take care of that now, and I'll meet you in the desert. Man, I tell you what, I'm very thankful that they added crouching in this update, or in the last one I should say, because It is coming in handy bridging over the nether. Of course, these guys are kind of annoying. But this actually brings us to another addition that came in with the nether is the glowstone. So we can mine that and pick up some glowstone dust. And then we can take 4 of that glowstone dust and make an actual glowstone again. Unfortunately, we have no way of picking up that glowstone itself because we don't have enchantments yet. So, sad news. And it seems like this is becoming the norm lately for these videos. However, I was bridging in the nether almost to where we needed to put that portal, right? And then, you know what happens? My game freezes. So I say, oh, okay, no big deal, no big deal. We'll just close out of the game, reopen it, we'll be right where we were, and we can just continue on like nothing happened. Well, that was a nice thought. However, always that however, when we log back in, it put us in a block that I presume we had already mined, but I'm not 100% certain. Anyhow, it put us in a block. We mined the block out. There was no block underneath it. And then we fell to our death in a pit of lava. So all that stuff is gone. Which is sad, because I had the obsidian we needed to make our nether portal in the desert. And I also had my only diamond pickaxe on me. So I think we only have 2 diamonds to our name. Which means that if I want to mine some more obsidian to make another portal, like my plan was for this episode, I need to go mine more diamonds first. So I'm going to do that. But I'm not going to take these diamonds with me because I could see I'll easily lose them down there if I do. So they're going to stay right here. We're going to make up a bunch of cobblestone pickaxes. And then we're going to search for diamonds. Once we have one more diamond, we're going to make a diamond pickaxe and get the obsidian that we need to finish this nether portal project. All right. So I've got the 14 obsidian we need for our nether portal. And before we go, I'm going to put this new diamond pickaxe in the chest so we don't lose it again, because I learn from mistakes. Let's hop back in this portal and finish this project so we can call it a day. We've arrived! If we go ahead and hit F3, press and hold it here, you can see over on the left-hand side, we are at X3, or you can see over here on the right-hand, you can see over here on the left-hand side, jeez, those gas are loud, I can't even think. On the left-hand side here, we are at negative 324 on the x-axis, and negative 180 on the z-axis. So, we are right where we need to be. Oh, jeez, that's terrifying. Slap down our obsidian. We're not doing the corners. I got enough obsidian to do the corners, but it's going to be more trouble than it's worth. And dang it, I forgot my flint and steel. Back this way I go. So while we're here, it's probably not a bad idea to talk about these mobs that we've got added into the game. These are the zombie pigmen. And this is them, essentially. Like, they just chill in the nether. They don't mind you as long as you don't mind them. And as soon as you smack one, though, they're going to kill you. So I'm not going to smack one, because I've already died in the nether once this episode. I wonder if they drop it. Oh, do you think we can burn them? I feel like for science we have to try this. I want to know if they burn. For science. Looks like he's on fire. But it doesn't look like he's taking damage. I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean it. Don't hurt me. Alright. We finally made it. Now, we light the portal, and hopefully, if we've done this right, we end up in that desert that we were in earlier this episode. Bam! Look at that. Just as intended, we ended up right in this desert. So now, all the glass that we're going to need is going to be right at our fingertips for at least a good while. Ooh, forest fire. But, anyhow, I think that's going to do it for me today. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate you, and thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment down below if you like this series so far. If I missed anything that you think is important for these updates, then definitely let me know, and maybe we'll get it in a future video. My plan with this series is to not only handle vanilla Minecraft, but I think we're going to take a look at some mods as well. Maybe start a modded world where we can just add various mods to the world file and check them out, see how they were in the early days. But, as I said, this is going to do it for me today. It's been an episode, and I think that actually completely covers the Halloween update. So next episode, we will be moving on. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And again, thank you for watching. Stay jolly.